now.
Oh.
All right. Wow. That was really nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm touched.
You're welcome.
All right. Look at that. You're in the mic too.
I'm in the mic as well.
You see, Elaine, take notes.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Andrew.
I'm Lane.
I'm Cole.
Why are you still here? You got off work?
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. It's irresponsible, but it's okay.
It's for the podcast.
For the podcast.
For the podcast, that works. And what's your name, sir?
I'm Jeremy.
You're Jeremy from the Time Framed.
That's right.
Thank you guys for listening in to what's now episode 5. You're sitting on the musician's couch with us.
It's a comfy couch.
It really is a comfy couch.
Yeah.
We couldn't have fit 4 of us on it, though.
That's okay.
It's like the musician's couch and the added chairs.
Yeah, that's about right.
Is that a band name?
The added chairs.
The added chairs, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
What's a good example? I can't think of any. Never mind.
That's okay. so yeah, thank you, Jeremy, for joining us today. And yeah, so what was that intro? Did that intro have a name?
Yeah, that's the kind of the beginning of a song called Storms in Cloud 9. I wrote it a really long time ago, and it was way different than that. And then a buddy of mine who plays in Hexproof showed me this crazy open C chord tuning, and I started noodling around more or less the idea of that, and then it just kind of changed and became its whole new thing.
That's really cool. Are we gonna hear that on any new material release soon?
Pretty soon, yeah. We're kind of moving away from, actually, per your suggestion, if you remember, that we were talking about moving more towards Patreon and doing stuff in that direction. So we actually are going to do that, and we've scheduled a little bit of a recording session in January just to kind of see what we can get done. And like right now, I'm working on turning my guitar parts into backing tracks because I'm drumming and singing when we play live.
Okay.
So I'm getting into the habit of recording anyways, which is a good thing for me because I'm terrible. I'll be like, 1 take and it's done. Okay, I'm out of here, guys. And be like, but that could have been better. And I'm already gone. Like my stuff's packed up and everything. It's bad. I don't do that.
I think that's a problem with all of us, is that we're always anxious to get it done, and there's different philosophies with that. A lot of people say, especially when you're working with a singer, they say the first take is the best take because you don't want them getting tired out after a while.
I think it really depends. Sometimes, if you're doing a take on the whole song, then your first take probably has the majority of your gems, but I'm by no means perfect, and almost all of my takes have like screw ups somewhere along the way. So it's like, well, this take's great up until that, and so we're gonna just get rid of that and use this take for the rest of that.
There's a song Cole and I were recording a long time ago, and we both thought the more we hate it, the better it will be. Because the more we play it, the more annoyed we started getting with it.
Oh, goodness.
And it did not turn out that way. It did not get that way at all. And we even had a guy come in and record us, and it was not going well at all. And we just totally scratched that song. We threw that in the trash. And it was, yeah. We thought that it would go well, just thinking like, oh, the more we play it, the better we'll get at it. But we know we're going to get annoyed with it, but that's not how it went. It's not how it went.
The only person that's not going to like the song you're performing is you.
Yeah, and that was my
Everyone
mindset
else is
behind
hearing it for the first time.
Yeah, that was my mindset behind it. And even in another song, like we were telling you earlier before we started recording this one, was we had a backing track for a song, and we had that all recorded, and then Cole was soloing over it because there's only 2 of us, and he has to solo over it, and it was he just got so pissed off at the at the song that he just ripped out this awesome solo, and then we just stayed with that and stuck with it, and it sounded great. So, but
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Jeremy, I've given you shout outs on like every episode so far. This is episode 5.
That's
And,
amazing.
Yeah,
I'm greatly
and
appreciative of that.
funny thing. So, for those of you that are really clueless right now, we record these all in advance and then we release them by the week. So, episode 2, we got to listen to a lot of local music, including the time framed, or at least we tried to, until you guys tried to sue us. But
that was ASCAP on our behalf. That wasn't actually.
thanks, ASCAP.
Yes. Yeah. They get paid to do that. Like that's
True.
That's their job.
Yeah, I actually didn't know you guys were signed with ASCAP, but
Well, it's the typical CD Baby thing. When you put a release through CD Baby, they sign you up for all of the industry norms that go out and make sure that you're not having illegitimate copyright use.
right. The funny thing about it is when we uploaded it, I get the message, a notification on Facebook saying your video is being partially muted because you don't own the rights to some of the music. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, out of like the 6 or 7 bands we played, who's the culprit here? Who's doing this?
It was
And
me.
yeah, and you were the last person I thought it would be because you have to understand, even one of the artists we played, a rapper, he sent me his song, and he's actually a licensed Vivo artist, and that's
cool.
where I grabbed the song from. So my immediate thought is, yeah, it's probably going to be Shadcore, and I'm listening, and it's like, no, Shadcore got through, and I'm like, and then all of a sudden we get to the time framed, and I hear the very first note of Limited Infinity, and then it just goes boom.
Oh my goodness.
And that's it. I'm like, what just happened?
We got-
Really?
we got muted.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, we got muted.
Oh, that's gross.
So we had to get you in here so we can get it from the source.
The copy is on YouTube. YouTube though, it wouldn't do it through Facebook, but it would do it through YouTube, right?
What a weird world. Yeah.
Because I think even Cole was listening to it, right? You were listening through YouTube, and
Yeah. Mm.
I'm trying to see if I can actually play it in this tuning. It's normally in standard.
What time frame songs can you play us now that we've finally got you on the couch?
Well, I was planning on playing Storms in Cloud 9 because I played it
Mhm.
just a minute ago and it totally stuck in my head. And then we've got one a buddy of ours who came to a lot of our early shows is actually one of Britt's best friends. Her name's Angela French, and she's been supporting us online and in person since we started. Actually, since before we even made it out of the house. Like we lived in an apartment over in Clearwater, and she came over a few times just to watch us play and to cheer us on while we were playing a pirate song that I now turned into a 20-minute epic. But this is what happened. You give me too much time with something, and I just keep tweaking it and adding parts, and then I turned it into a poetry challenge, and next thing you know, it's a 20-minute song. Like, wasn't this 4 minutes like a month ago? Yeah, it was, but I got bored.
When I first met you guys and you gave me your SoundCloud login, I think Pirate Madness was up on there.
Mhm.
And it was probably floating somewhere around 10 minutes, maybe? Ish.
No, the version that we had on SoundCloud was like 6 minutes, 6:30, something like that.
Yeah, and I was really happy with that. Like I was listening to that, I'm like, this is so cool. I can't wait to play this. And then after I started hearing you perform it at Sneaky's, it pretty much turned into a solo thing for you because I could not follow
That's
any of that. but-
totally what happens. I get really bored and start practicing these musical exercises like tapping techniques and odd time signatures and layering odd times, which ties back into the Angela song thing. So one of my first attempts at layering odd time signatures together was combining a 3/4 rhythm with kind of an accented 7 sort of a idea. So you're playing kind of a strong 3 pulse, so ba da 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 sort of a thing. But then every 7th note gets a little bit more accent to it, and it cycles after 7 measures typically. So
Good old polyrhythms.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was writing a song for Angela. She had written some lyrics. She wanted to guest appear and sing with us, and it never quite worked out. but I did actually end up finishing the music, and it's really pretty. So we've just titled it Angela's Song, and it's kind of piratey in some sense, and it uses some of those polyrhythmic ideas, and then it's got this weird open C arpeggio thing that I made up at Sam Ash when I worked there one day, and so now I have to play it as part of the song, but my fingers don't like it. So it's like if it when I go to actually record this song, like I'm probably gonna one take it just because that's who I am as a person. I'm trying not to be, but it wears me down so fast. It's easier on the electric than on the acoustic.
That's the
But
funny thing that you bring that up too, because for me as a violinist, whenever I do get the good fortune of playing with you guys, I really enjoy the music, but my fingers don't at all. For some reason,
I
the
know that feeling.
yeah, for some reason the music that you write just it's like tongue twisters for your fingers. For me,
Yeah.
so I'm tuned in fifths, and
Oh yeah.
you're tuned in whatever
fourths.
you're tuned in
Well, normally fourths, but
normally. Yeah.
I want to go back to the long song thing, like 20-minute song,
Mhm.
10-minute song thing.
Yep.
Would you agree that only musicians would listen through a whole 10-minute song? Like I listen to Pink Floyd's Animals album, and each song on that album is like 10, 15-minute long.
Yep.
And I can listen to the whole thing. But I feel like anybody now, if they hear something on the radio that's 10, 15 minutes long, would just skip it or something.
I
like that.
think it depends on the person to person. Because, I mean, there was a time where 10 minutes was a short length for a song. You know, in like classical compositions, a lot of those pieces, we've later broken them up into this
Oh,
is
yeah, of
section
course.
1, section 2, that type of thing. But one of my favorite bands, and you know, notably their fan base is mostly musicians as well, but the Mars Volta has a 30-minute song, and it's epic. That was actually one of the big inspirations for turning Pirate Madness into a longer song.
Absolutely.
Oh, well.
And
Uh,
you can't forget that there are still jazz radio stations that play full versions of the songs, and sometimes those are 10 to 15-minute songs because you're going through some very long solos.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I listened to one on the ride home. It was John Coltrane, and we're like, the song is still on. It's still on. It lasted half the ride home from Tampa.
All right.
And yeah, but at that point, it was just like a 10-minute long sax solo. I was like, please, man, just play the right notes at this point. It's
Before getting into music as much as I am now, I always heard as a joke that November Rain was way too long, and I now know that there's way more songs that are longer than that. Because November Rain's like 7 minutes,
yeah.
I think.
Yep.
But like through listening to like anything else, like any other band has like a song longer than that, but for some reason November Rain hit the
I
like
think it's the tempo, really. Because sometimes, like, in, like, the time frame song Ifrit, it's a
Mhm.
7.5-minute song, but it feels like 4 because of the way it kind of ramps up, and it's dramatic in the beginning. It follows your typical, you know, intro that kind of alludes to the chorus, and then verses that are pretty much on the same wavelength as the intro. There's a pre-chorus, and then, you know, it kind of cycles itself back around. The bridge is very noticeably the bridge. It ties 2 choruses together, and it's got some interesting musical things and a guitar solo, of course. But the song feels like 4, especially when you play it.
and
Like,
that's what impresses me about your guys' music is that you keep it interesting.
it's
like,
a lot of fun.
You don't just write a 10-minute song with the same chords and stuff. Like you
That-
change it up.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
would be
you have to
really, really boring. But I think the pace of something, like if you're repeating something a whole lot, like, I mean, the Guns N' Roses weren't necessarily the most popular for writing complicated musical ideas. Like,
right.
like repetitiveness was part of their backbone. So I feel like that has a lot to do with why that song feels longer than it really is.
Yeah.
You guys definitely have the most unique music around, especially in this area.
Thank you.
You really do. And I've also said it before, but you've also your merch game is on point.
We try. It's been a little lacking lately, just because both Britt and I, who are the main ones making the merch, and if I'm not lying to myself, then it's really Britt, because she makes all the soaps and the suckers. I usually help with the suckers, but the soap she does on her own. And lately,
That's
she's
insane. You
yeah,
guys have soap and like suck. I know Andrew was telling me
Yeah,
about that.
yep.
with their logo inside. It's crazy.
Yeah, we were taking Jolly Ranchers and melting them down, and then there's like this edible paint that we got from Michael's, and you can paint the hourglass logo onto the inside,
That's awesome.
and then you kind of mix some sugar and honey together and melt it down, and then you like stick it in a different mold and put them over top of each other, and so you've got like sugar on one side, Jolly Rancher on the other, with our logo in the middle, and you can see it as you're eating. It's really cool.
And how the heck do you make your own soap?
That's actually a
Is it
secret
through
of
another
hers.
company?
No. She actually buys all the different stuff. There are a lot of people that make soap like individually just to kind of sell on Etsy and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And she learned some of their styles and kind of sticking with the whole Jolly Rancher theme. She bought a Jolly Rancher incense type of deal that she can infuse into the soap as she's making it,
Mhm.
so it smells like gummy bears. It's
That is
actually really
awesome.
cool. Yeah, uh, the only problem with the soap is I feel like our mold's a little too big. So when we make it, like, and when we use it personally, it kind of gets a little grody looking by the time it runs out. So I think I'm probably gonna like nudge her to make smaller soaps. And I've been trying to get her to do the same with the suckers too, but she won't listen to me. They're like dumb big. It doesn't fit in people's mouths sometimes. It's hilarious.
I kind of want one now. Next time
yeah.
I come to a show.
Yeah, we've still got Jolly Rancher, so we can make suckers. I'll
Cool.
have to. But our next couple of shows are in Palm Coast.
Ooh,
We've got a house party, and we're part of this group called Rugrat Records. They're not really a recording company, as much as they're more into networking and setting up shows and things of that sort. And it was really serendipitous how it all worked out. We met them through jumping onto a music festival over in DeLand, which we've gotten you to come out there on that one once, didn't we?
yeah. I don't think I made it that time, but I
Okay.
wanted to.
That's fair.
yeah.
It's actually a really fun event. There's typically a lot of people that come out. They do 2 in DeLand and they do 2 in Daytona Beach. And it's like $10 to get in, and there's hundreds of bands all over the place. There's a bunch of venues. There's usually like, like food trucks and different things like that going on around there. It's a great time. We've met a lot of cool bands. We've made a lot of good friends, and people seem to come out consistently out there to see us. Like, my favorite venue in the entire world to play is actually Steve's Downtown Music. It's a vinyl like record store.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't actually have a stage. Like, you literally just set up right in front of his doors, and it's not because of the sound, it's just the energy. Like, being in front of a record shop, there's all these posters behind you. When people take pictures, it looks like all of my favorite pictures of me playing guitar happened in front of that place.
That's awesome.
I've seen many of those pictures,
Yeah.
and they came out great. I feel like that's the best place that you guys could even film a music video too.
Right.
That'd be the place to go.
It's in the brain. I'm actually, if everything works out the way it's supposed to, that's probably going to be where we do the video for Tiny Wolves when things move a little bit forward. Like, I've got my own schemes.
That'd be cool.
I feel like the stuff that we released on the EP that we made ourselves is probably going to be good juice to go back to and re-release when we get to a point where we're no longer completely independent. For now, we're recording on our own and releasing it on our own, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, go ahead and plug some of your shows.
But
I mean, this may not be until the first or second week of January, so I don't know if you know any shows after that, because I don't know how many people are gonna be hearing this.
We're playing at the Verona on February 8th. I know that for certain, and if my phone wasn't hiding from me, I'd be able to look at my website and see. But if you're interested in finding out where we're playing next, we do post our upcoming shows on www.thetimeframed.com, and it's like the homepage has recent blog posts and YouTube videos and stuff like that, and our music. But then there's a link that just says upcoming shows, and so you click on that, and it'll show a list. I don't remember when the last time I updated that was, so I'll probably have to do that before this gets released, at the very least. I try to be on top of it, but sometimes I just forget. There's so many different things to pay attention to, YouTube posts and
Absolutely.
stuff like that.
Being a social media manager is hard.
It's definitely a job.
I don't like being on my phone that much to begin with, and it just absorbs most of my time.
Right. I feel like I'm becoming part of the problem like, because I can use my phone to edit the website and edit, our YouTube page and make weird little things on Instagram and stuff like that. I've been halfway banned from making posts on Instagram because I usually do weird stuff. But there's just so much that you can do that, trying to keep up with it all and using your phone and being mobile and having a day job and all this, that, and the other, it tends to be chaotic and make me feel like I'm on my phone always.
I absolutely agree with you.
Perfect.
So I wanted to get you to play one more song for us.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Well, let's do Storms in Cloud 9 all the way through, and then
Absolutely.
from
Go
there.
for it.
Sounds like I've heard it before.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And once more, what was the name of that song?
That's called Storms in Cloud 9.
That was amazing.
I'll eventually be able to play and sing it. I'm still working on that, though.
And I'll eventually be able to follow you. Eventually. That's going to take some work.
That one's a
But-
hard one.
No, that's cool. I like that one a lot.
How long have you been working on that one?
Quite a while, actually. It started off in just like kind of a drop D thing, and that whole was a really big like piece to it. And I get into these modes where I start over analyzing my music, and I'm like, it's called Storms in Cloud 9, and it's in 4/4 the entire song. Why don't I make it not in 4/4? And so I started screwing with that, and then I was like, okay, this other tuning is going to be way better for that. And
You've already got lyrics down and everything for it?
I do already have lyrics. Yeah,
Awesome. I
I'm
can't
just
wait to
not.
hear it.
I'm not practiced at it. I spent all day today working on a hip hop song that's a new thing, and it's
I've got to show you the hip hop song I made too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
But yeah, I'm glad we got to hear an early version of your
Yes.
song.
Mhm.
Like early demo. That's amazing. That's cool.
It's awesome.
Jeremy from The Time Framed.
Indeed.
Thank you so much. Everybody,
Thanks
you
for
got to
having
go
me.
check out The Time Framed. Go look them up on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. They've got their EP, Chrono Dementia.
Mm-hmm.
out on Spotify and everywhere else you can get music. Please don't pirate their music. I learned that one the hard way.
Thanks,
We'll
Facebook.
send the hounds.
They will send the hounds. They're not kidding. They've got tiny wolves. They reach out in every direction.
Oh man, we don't need it.
Yeah, to you guys listening, wherever you're listening, thank you for supporting the Musician's Couch. Go ahead and, if you feel like being extra generous, donate to our PayPal at musicianscouch@gmail.com. That'd be super sweet of you.
Yeah,
We
please.
still haven't bought Lane a pop filter yet, so
Yeah, please.
that was actually
please
really
give-
good.
Thanks.
That
Yeah.
you're getting better.
Yeah, see, I'm trying.
Okay. Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, Jeremy, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
having
Thank
me.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, so my name is Andrew.
This is Lane.
I'm Cole.
You're still here.
Yeah, he's still here.
He's
I-
been here for like a whole week.
I've been trying to hand
He
him the
hasn't
mic
left.
so he can say things, but
You've got a death grip,
he's just
bro.
listening.
Don't
Yeah.
lie.
yeah, he's just chilling.
I'm here for the experience.
All right, guys.
just
Musician's
leveled up.
Couch. Signing off. What'd you say?
I said he just leveled up. He's here for the experience.
Oh my god.
So great when musicians play for the experience.
There's
They get new armor.
Yes.
They
There's
can
our
do spin
next,
kicks
there's the
now.
episode, there's the name of this episode. Level up.
Yes.
Level up.
Experience.
Here for their or
Here for the experience.
Yeah. There's the name of our next song.
All right. Guys, thank you so much. Thanks to Jeremy and the Time Framed. Go check them out. They are performing everywhere,
Yeah.
all the time.
all the time. Yes.
All the time. Time Framed, thetimeframe.com. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to the Musician's Couch. Signing off.
See you,
See ya.
I guess. Huh?
I guess.